stocks you like as well. Let me also welcome in Kunal Shah, derivatives analyst at Indiabulls Ventures, who joins in. Kunal, we are seeing that rotation into defensives very, very clearly. It's only IT and FMCG that's holding out. ITC bouncing back from 52-week low, HUL showing steady gains, and Britannia, which has been under pressure off late. We saw a bit of a bounce back in trade on Britannia yesterday, and today it's the top gainer on the Nifty.
See, overall, talking about the markets, definitely there is a weakness that is persisting in this market. 10,800, 750 is likely to be a crucial support on Nifty. If that is not held, definitely we are heading even lower. Talking about the Bank Nifty index, 27,500 is breach. That means Bank Nifty is likely to go towards lower levels of 27,100, 27,000 kind of a zone on the downside, which is the next support for Bank Nifty. So overall, yes, market remains to be very choppy. I think keep a sell on rise approach. As long as markets bounces, it would be a trade to initiate fresh shorts, and we can see even levels of 27,100 to 27,000 on the Bank Nifty. And Nifty, if breaches 10,800 on the downside, then 10,700, 650 is there on the cards. So definitely a lower top has been formed in Nifty, and if we form a lower low, that will go even towards the levels of 10,700, 600 kind of a zone on the downside. So yes, definitely sentiment is negative at the current levels. For today, specifically expiry for Nifty, 10,800 is a very crucial support. If that is breached, then definitely we are seeing further selling pressure coming even towards the levels of 10,750, 10,700 kind of a zone.
So you can see some more selling coming if we are not able to hold on to these levels. DLF, Kunal, I have to ask you about this one. It's seeing its biggest loss in 5 years. We've seen a big cut on the counter. It's rebounded slightly from the low of the day today. But what's the structure of DLF telling you?
I think DLF on the technical chart has given a trend line breakdown. Definitely the stock looks extremely weak at the current levels. Yes, already the stock is quite down, so definitely would not advise anyone to go short at the current levels. But whatever bounces you get into the stock, I think it's a fresh opportunity to again go short into the stock, and you can even see levels of 105 to 100 coming into the stock in the very near term. The long-term chart still remains bearish. Even if you look at a yearly chart, it still remains on the bearish side. These are the bounces which came into the stock from the levels of 75, 80 kind of a zone to the levels of 200 to 220 kind of a zone. Now the stock is again likely to head towards the lower levels of 105 to 100 kind of a zone. So definitely keep a sell on rise approach even in DLF. And since a fresh breakdown has been given yesterday, it confirms the pattern, and keep a sell on rise approach. Whatever bounces you get into the stock, it is an opportunity to create fresh shorts.
Point taken. What about Oberoi Realty? I mean, real estate is the weakest link in the market right now. Oberoi Realty had been fairly more stable, but because of some news flow related events as well, we've seen pressure on that one. Okay. Is there a further sell-off likely in Oberoi?
Talking about Oberoi, definitely the stock today has breached the support of 530, which it was supposed to hold. Then we can see some bounce towards the levels of 600. But since a fresh breakdown has come into the stock, even if you see on a weekly chart, the stock has kind of form of a double top, and now a fresh breakdown has been given. So you can even see lower levels coming towards the levels of 470, 460 kind of a zone in the very near term. So I think avoid the counter at the current levels. Even if you have already the counter in your portfolio, then definitely time to book some profit around the levels of 495, 500 kind of a zone.
Right. Avoid bottom fishing on this one. In fact, it's a sell on rally, or you can even go short on rallies. NCC and NBCC, two stocks there, Kunal. Again, we've seen sustained weakness in these counters. NCC today is again down 3.5%. You're seeing open interest addition of about 5% on that as well. NBCC has also been trending lower. What's the call on both of these charts?
See, NBCC, definitely the stock is in a weak trend. The stock has already seen quite a steep decline in the recent past, and definitely at the current levels, sell is not recommended even at the current levels, because the stock is definitely in an oversold region. But yes, the weakness still persists. On the upside, the stock, if witness a bounce towards the levels of 35, 36 kind of a zone, then definitely it's an opportunity to again create fresh shorts into the counter, and you can expect lower levels of 28 to 27 on the downside. So at the current levels, I would say avoid, wait for bounces towards the levels of 35, 36 kind of a zone, and then you can create fresh short positions.
All right. UPL, we've seen sustained selling coming in on this one. It's in danger of now breaking below 500. Does it make sense to short UPL even at these levels?
Yes, definitely. UPL at the current levels looks weak. The stock is likely to head towards the lower levels of 507, 508 kind of a zone where the next support for the stock stands. So I think even UPL at the current levels definitely augurs for a good sell, and one can definitely sell with a stop loss of 543 on the upside and look for targets of 510 to 503 kind of a zone on the downside.
All right, that's a UPL for you. There is some more downside expected on this counter. Kunal, I haven't got your trading ideas as yet. Which are the stocks that are on your radar this morning?
See, overall, if you talk about the markets, yes, definitely markets have been weak. There are certain counters which are even looking for a fresh low in the current scenario. My first pick would be Eicher Motors. The stock is definitely looking weak at the current levels. If I talk about a little bit longer term picture, I even see stock coming towards the levels of 10,000 kind of a zone, currently trading around 16,000, 15,500 kind of a level. So yes, definitely the stock is weak. Even from a trading perspective, one can definitely look to short even at the current levels and look for levels of 15,400 to 15,200 kind of a zone on the downside. So Eicher Motor would be my first pick on the sell side, and on the upside one can keep a stop loss of 15,700, 750 on the upside. So my first pick would be Eicher Motor. Even if I talk about a long-term picture, which I mentioned, even I look targets for 10,000 even coming for a long-term picture. So even if anybody has in their portfolio, I think ideal time to book some profit into the counter, and we are heading even toward lower levels of 10,000. So Eicher Motor would be my first pick. My second pick would be Tata Global. The counter looks positive from the current levels as well. Even in the volatile market, the stock has been holding its crucial support levels, and we can see stock even going towards a fresh new high once the market stabilizes in the near term. So Tata Global at the current levels looks very attractive. One can definitely look to buy even at the current levels. Keep a stop loss of 240 on the downside and look for targets of 275, and once 275 is decisively taken out, we can see levels of even 305 to 310 coming into the stock. The overall structure remains very bullish, and one should definitely add from the current levels.
All right, Tata Global is looking good. You had a short on Eicher. What about Maruti, Kunal? Because we've seen a good recovery from 5,500 to 63. It's run into some kind of consolidation now at 63. Do you think there is still some pullback likely, or will it be a good short at these levels?
See, I think Maruti definitely at the current levels, 6,300, 6,400 kind of a zone is a resistance level for Maruti. If that is crossed decisively, then we might even see stock going towards the levels of 7,000 kind of a zone. So at the current levels, since the stock has seen some kind of a rally, I think if somebody has it, then some profit booking is to be expected from the current levels, or one can initiate fresh shorts with a stop loss of 6,500 on the upside and look for targets of 5,700, 600 kind of a zone on the downside. In the recent volatile markets, I think Maruti has been one stock that has been stable and has been bouncing from the oversold levels. But at the current levels, I would not advise anyone to create fresh long positions. In fact, look for opportunities on the upside to go short, and we can see levels of again 6,000 to 5,800 coming into the counter.
All right, don't risk a short yet. There still could be some more upside left on this counter. Kunal, thanks so much for joining in and running us through your reading of some of the stocks today. Weekly expiry underway. There is a lot of volatility that is playing out right now. Can't rule out further weakness. Let's see if we can hold on to this 10,850, 800 zone or not. We are very precariously poised right now. Slight recovery from the lows of the day, about 25 or 30 odd points, but nonetheless very, very weak in trade right now. The Bank Nifty also trading below 27,500 mark. Defensives, especially IT and FMCG, is where the action is for the moment. Let's take a quick break. On the other side, it's time for the small cap show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes.